What's up, everybody? This is Jeff. Today we're going to talk about surfing in Hawaii. So, surfing in Hawaii is world renowned. Okay, so the best time to surf in Hawaii, the peak season is going to be about December to February. You can add a month either way, March, November. Okay, there's also a little bit of a rush that happens in late spring around April, May. And then in between there, you can still definitely come to Hawaii and surf. It's just not going to be mega sized jumbo waves like you get in peak season at least once or twice a week. Okay, so I'm going to go through each island and talk about some of the things to know. Okay, so Oahu, world famous bonsai pipeline. You got Waimea Bay, which is where the Eddy is held. You got Sunset Beach. You got Haleiwa. You got, if you go around the island, you got Waikiki Beach. You got White Plains. You got, the Kailua side. Now, the thing to keep in mind, the way that it works in Hawaii is winter time. So when the winter storms are in Siberia and Alaska, they're generating big vibrations of waves that come down to hit the Hawaiian Islands. That's why in the winter time you get the winter swells. When winter is in the southern hemisphere, it's that vibration is having to cross the equator, because they're down in the Antarctica area. And they have to travel a long way. So by the time they get to the southern shores of Hawaii, they're just not as strong as they are on the north shore. So the south shores just don't get it in the summertime like the winter swells do because of the winter in the hemispheres. If that made sense, I'm trying to explain it in the most simple way. It's not really a simple thing to say, but you get it. So when it's summer in the northern hemisphere, it's winter in the southern hemisphere. When it's winter in the southern hemisphere, it's summer in the northern hemisphere. Hawaii is in the northern hemisphere. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind when you're coming to Hawaii. When is winter? So that's where the big swells are going to be coming from. The other factor that occurs in the summertime that does create big waves is hurricane season. When there is a hurricane, the conditions can be correct, you will get big waves. Okay, so moving on to the other big wave island. I'm talking big waves here. Piahi. It's also known as Jaws. When you see big waves in Hawaii, they're probably happening at the Piahi surf break on the north shore of Maui. Okay. On Maui, there's also several beaches that you can hang out at. Ho'okipa Beach Park, Honolulu Bay, and then South Shore is going to get waves. Lahaina area, there's always going to be gentle, friendly waves over there in that area in Lahaina. But if you want those big waves, North Shore Maui, you're going to get them at Jaws. I mean, we're talking world-class, huge waves. Huge. Okay, Kauai. Kauai does get some big waves at Honolulu Bay. Honolulu Bay is pretty much like Jaws. That's where world-class surfer Laird Hamilton lives. When he catches the big wave that comes once every 5 years, it's out there in that area in the north shore of Kauai. Kauai is the very first island that gets hit. That break is actually out to sea, so it's not like a shore break, On the south shore, you got Kalapaki, you got Kealia Beach. On the west shore, Shipwreck Beach. So you got some options on Kauai. Now, when it comes to the Big Island, the one that I know the best, okay, same thing's going to apply. Kona is going to get some big waves. And the surf spots over here are pine trees. Magic Sands goes off, also known as La'aloa. Kohala Lighthouse up on the North Shore, so North Shore Big Island. Um, and then, some other places people like to bomb out on waves, which I don't know if it's the safest place. Waipio Valley. Now that is, you got to be really experienced to surf up at Waipio Valley or Pololu Valley, and some other chill spots down in Hilo, Honolulu, South Side. You got Pohoiki, also known as Isaac Halle Beach Park. You got South Point, and yeah, that's pretty much some chill spots. You got Hapuna. You got Kauai High Harbor. So you got many options on the Big Island, just as you do on other islands. I just so happen to know the Big Island really good. Now, if you're into bodyboarding or body surfing, which is really fun, you can do that here on the Big Island in places like Hapuna, Kua Bay, Magic Sands. Now, they also do that on other beaches, like in Maui. They have McKenna State Park is really fun for people like shore breaks, which is what you get at Hapuna and Kua Bay and Magic Sands. Shore breaks, those are kind of iffy because, if you've ever experienced shore breaks, you've seen how they break right there at the ocean. I mean, you're gonna tumble like with no control. You're gonna be spinning, and it's quite the rush. But people have had some injuries that way. Reefs are there's also reefs out here. People get cut on the reefs. I would say if you're not an experienced surfer, do not try to catch big waves. Just don't do it. I've seen huge waves, even here on the Big Island, where I'm telling you, if you're not ready for that, I've heard stories of guys being underwater for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Can you hold your breath for that long? See? So, if you just want chill waves, don't try to go in over your head. It's I'm just giving you guys some tips. Now, for those of you who are like, Shane Dorian or Laird Hamilton or Kelly Slater, you can tell me to shut the heck up because, you got it down. But I'm talking to the general population of people who, are just getting started. I don't want to hear anything happen to you guys because you got in over your head with some big waves because you thought it was cool and it was everyone could do it, because it just doesn't work like that. Start out small, work your way up. When you see big massive waves, watch from the shore for a while, see how you think you can handle it. Talk to the people who are out there on those waves and see what they're saying. Make sure there's a lifeguard around too, because just saying, these big waves out here, they get big. I mean, even here on the Big Island, I've seen waves that were so big. I was sitting there on the shoreline filming in a dry area, but we had one rogue wave that came up and literally just took out everything. My camera gear. I was up on the shore. I mean, this was how powerful some of these waves are. They'll be stronger than others. And I mean, this wave, I watched it. This was on the Big Island. It just kept towering and towering and towering, and then it was dry where I was. Next thing I know, this wave comes it was like a rogue wave. It just came right up on the shore, took out my camera gear and everything. And I had video of that wave building, and it was a monster. It was an anomaly wave so I mean, and guys caught that one, but those guys that caught that one, they were feeling it. That was one of those special waves, but they come irregular like that. So anyways, surfing in Hawaii, it is world-class surfing in the winter time. Yeah, world-class. So I will see you guys later.